Good investors fundamentally can think for themselves. I was more miserable trying to make everyone else happy.
Have you seen this image? It's a person whose heart and head are flowers. It's kind of a 2D drawing.
Okay.
It's a bit of a sketch.
Okay.
And they say, this person with the kind of smaller flower head and heart says, "You've changed."
Mm-hmm.
And the person on the other side with this huge blooming thing says, "I should hope so."
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I see it in my head.
Yeah. It's brilliant. One of my friends, George Mack, told me this 5 years ago, I think. I'm astounded by how many people want to be spectacular in life, but also want to be normal. By being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Exceptional people get exceptional results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and expect to not get what everyone else has got. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
Okay. So this comes down to everything that like business. I mean, obviously I come from the business and investing world. Like if everyone is jumping onto crypto, like by the time you have all the information to make a perfect decision, it's too late. And by the time you have consensus where everyone's like, that's a good investment, it probably isn't, because it's already been mispriced, because it's already inflated and it's above what its intrinsic value is. And so like good investors fundamentally can think for themselves. And it's such an easy thing to say and such a hard thing to do. And so it's being able to say, if I shut myself in a room and I had to come up with a value for something and just use my own mind to come up with what I think this is worth, it's that answer that you get in a room, in isolation, with no internet connection, that you believe in that number more than every single other person's. And most people can't do that. But like that ability. And then what happens though is if you really have to believe in that rather than everyone else's, you double check your fucking math. Because if it is different than everyone else's, you have the that is what opportunity
looks
looks
like.
Right. And it's like, and you have the potential to make a shitload of money or lose a ton of money because you didn't check your math. And so the more I've been reinforced for thinking independently, and in the beginning it's on small things, and then you just continue to reinforce that cycle of, I came to this conclusion on my own. It seems different than everyone else's, but I think my thing makes sense. So I'm going to do that.
How would you advise someone to overcome that regression to the mean, that pull to not make waves, to not be heterodox or non-typical when it comes to their decision making? Because it's hard. You're talking about this internal conflict versus external conflict. Yeah. How do you make the internal conflict more important than the external conflict?
For me, I was more miserable trying to make everyone else happy than I am now with everyone else unhappy with me. And so I think like from the social group that I had before I quit my job, if we're going all the way like ground zero to today, I talked to no one from that time in my life compared to today. And I was absolutely miserable and unhappy and unfulfilled. And I would say that the majority of those people probably don't like me today because I changed. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. He thinks he's so fancy now, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I'm just okay with that. And so I think coming to terms with the idea that I could be absolutely rejected by everyone I know, but like me, I was more okay with that because the alternative was I didn't want to live anymore. And so obviously there's degrees and there's continuums and there's stages of where people are at with that. But as that being the taken to its logical extreme, would I rather live for them than live for me? I would rather be hated by everyone and like myself.